All right, guys, now we're getting ready to go into the Speedway Museum, but here's a couple cars outside we can check out before we go in there. We got the Lightning McQueen from the movie Cars, of course. Replica car, I'm sure. Looks like it used to be a Mitsubishi. Bumper ointment. Cool. And then Tow Mater. Tow Mater's missing something. Oops. Yeah, he's missing some go power and a hood. Poor Tow Mater, he can't go anywhere. But it's cute just seeing this stuff out here. Then we got this thing here. Holy crap, this car. That's the original race car there. It's like probably 1920s, 1910s. I don't know, it's old. Looks like it's kind of missing a few parts, but somebody got some Speedway magazines and laid them down on the seat and then walked off and left them. It's kind of a cool thing. All right, let's go inside. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so we can see a little better. There we go. All right, let's go in and check out the Speedway Museum. So it's $10 for old people like me and $15 for everybody else except students, veterans. Here's our hours if you guys want to know that. They don't open till noon, which kind of sucks, but that's okay. All right. Howdy. All right.
One of us there?
Just me, yes.
One adult sound right?
I'm 61.
Ah, there we are. I'll get you $10 even there for you. Take that at 20.
All right.
Visited the museum before?
Nope.
Awesome. Welcome. 3 floors to see. I've got maps just there for you.
3 floors?
3 floors, about 250,000 square feet of museum space to see. I do have a guided tour starting at 1 o'clock today. They'll get going just about where those guys are standing there if you'd like to join them.
And how long does that last?
2.5, 3 hours.
Wow, really? Okay.
Go through it there. Yep.
All right.
I'll drop down a zip code for you real quick.
65438.
Awesome. Thanks, sir.
All right. 250,000 square feet.
3 floors.
3 floors. I got a feeling this is going to be a long video. 1935 Miller Ford race car. I'm going to go through this kind of quickly because I don't want to take too long. There's a replica of something. Flathead motor. Wow. That's cool. I'll let you guys read that. You can pause the video and read that if you want. Front drive. This is a front drive? What? No way. Oh, they were all 4 retired with overheated steering boxes too near the exhaust. Wow. 112 miles an hour. Man, that's front drive unit. Look at that. You guys can read that. I'll hold that up there where you can read that. Round fuel tank. Ah. The engine was mounted backwards. That's cool. And there's something down there. I'll hold it here for a second. You guys can read that. Wow. That is really cool. All right, like I said, I'm not going to take a ton of time here because there's 3 floors here. So if you guys want to see this, you can come see it. Of course, I say that, and then there's all this cool stuff to see. The overhead cam, a really early overhead, dual overhead cam engine. 4-cylinder engine. There you go. You can pause the video and read that if you want. Mid-20s. Dual overhead cam. Engine from the mid-20s. And here's a newer one. 1920s, 1930s. Wow. This one here's a one, two. It's a 6-cylinder, straight 6. That's beautiful, man. All aluminum. Wow. Harry Miller Gallery. There's some engines in here we can look at. There's an old boat motor. That's cool. I don't know what this stuff is. It almost looks like a turbo or something. I don't know what it is. Maybe might be something to do with boats, I guess. Wow. Very cool. If you guys want to pause this stuff, you can pause it. Drawing board. Here's a drawing board. People designed engines, it looked like. So there's that. If you guys want to read that. To do with the drawing board here. There you go. I'll hold it here for a few seconds so you can pause it if you want to. Very cool. Offenhauser. You know that name, don't you? You ought to. Wow, that's cool. Studebaker. Spent $225,000 to have that engine designed and built. Look at that. Dual overhead cam. V8. Fuel injected. Crazy engine. Unbelievable. And here's a 270 Offenhauser. If you guys want to read that, you can. Some really unusual stuff here. You guys, if you're ever up and driving by Lincoln on I-80, you need to stop and check this out. There's a midget engine, early midget engines, 1920s. Wow, 98 cubic inches. The baby Offie. Look at that thing. I'd love to hear that thing run, man. That thing probably sounded really cool. Very nice. There's a 308. The first V8 engine with dual overhead cams. Only 2 known to have been built. Wow. Very cool. Look at the cams on that thing. Cam there and a cam there. That is neat. Here's a 16-cylinder engine. Another cool, very cool engine. Look at this thing. This thing is gorgeous. You know, this stuff was works of art back then. Look, they windowed the pan so you can see inside. That is just amazing. That's beautiful. Dual overhead cam, V16. Got 2 separate distributors, 1 for each side. 4 little tiny carburetors. You think you'd need bigger carburetors than that for an engine like that, but maybe not. And here's a Miller 200. This one here isn't quite as pretty. It ain't been polished up.
There you go. Trolling.
Wow. Still a really cool engine though. Looks like it's got a Stromberg carburetors on it. Little 4-cylinder. Here's a Miller 151, 8-valve marine racing engine. It's amazing they did this in the 1920s. Wow, that's very cool. Carburetors are on the side, they're updraft instead of downdraft. That's cool. Here's a 124, it says. Used in hydroplanes. Wow. 1920s. It's a straight 8-cylinder. I'm not sure what all this is up here. I guess maybe the carburetor? Wow, that's very cool. And then we got this thing here, the Miller 91. 1926, it says. Won Indy 500 10 times. Must have been a good engine. Again, that's a straight 8-cylinder. Man, I'd love to hear these things run. I can imagine what they sounded like. And look at the updraft carburetors on them. It's got one carburetor barrel for each cylinder. Man, this thing probably sounded cool running down the road. Wow. Neat. And then here in the middle, Ed Pink. 46 to 66, supercharged, 4-cam, 550 to 837 horsepower. Wow. Very cool. Look at the supercharger. Check that out. It's like a centrifugal supercharger. Again, it's a dual overhead cam. It's a V16 engine. Very cool. Two distributors side by side. Can you imagine how hard it'd be to tune this thing? I bet that'd be a nightmare. All right, guys, that was Miller. Now we got to walk around here and look at this stuff because there's a lot of stuff here to look at. Al Unser Jr. Everybody who knows anything about Indy racing knows who Al Unser Jr. is. I'm just going to scroll across here. You guys can stop and read this if you want. There's a lot of stuff here to read. I'm not going to try to go through all of this. There you go. It's a very cool Pernelli Jones. You guys have heard of him. Very cool. Very cool stuff here. There's another Indy car. 1971 Gurney Eagle. Bobby Unser drove this car too as well. Very cool.
Considered a spy. Oh, no kidding. Yes.
Here's a 57 STP car. It says Plymouth on it, so it's got a Plymouth. I don't know what that engine is, but it's a V8. Looks like dual overhead cam. Very cool car. This is really neat. And then we've got, look at this, we've got all this sprint car stuff. I think probably when Speedway started, they started out like in sprint car racing. My gosh. This is called the Big Bertha. Again, I'm not going to take a bunch of time here. I'll just try to pause it so you can read it if you want to read it. You can pause it. Look at this engine. That is just, like I said, a work of art. Beautiful. Beautiful 4-cylinder dual overhead cam engine. Here's looks like a little newer one. Fronty Ford. Oh no, 1923. Man, I didn't even know these engines existed back then. I didn't think they made anything that cool back then. Wow. That is very cool. I'd love to hear some of these engines run. That is neat. There's a mobile oil. It says AF, so I don't know. Antifreeze maybe? Whatever it was, that's cool. It's number 27. I'll show you that real quick. So this is going to take me a while to go through this, so I'm trying to make this video as short as I can, but there is just some really cool stuff here. L Chevrolet, I guess a guy named Chevrolet, Louis Chevrolet drove this car. Huh. One of the original founders of Chevrolet, probably. It's an old drill press. Mobile oil gas pump. There's another engine here. Another Offenhauser engine. Again, I'll just pause for a second there so you can pause it and read that if you want. Little 4-cylinder. Had a magneto in the front. Very cool. All right, and then there's a bunch of stuff here. Studebaker, 250 cubic inch straight 8. 1935 was when this one was around. Yeah, it had like a flat head on it. Very cool stuff. Very cool. All right, and looks like there's one there that's like a Looks like a crate motor that never even got used. Still in the original crate. How do you like that? See what it says. Oh, this is a Duesenberg. Okay. I don't know, maybe this one was raced, but it looks like an original crate engine that was never used to me. Oh my God, lay down offie. Look at this. Sidewinder 4-cylinder. Wow. Developed in the 1950s. Check this out, guys. Look at that. Oh my God, it literally, the cylinders are up at an angle, all 4 of them. Huh. I guess it has a dry sump oil system in it. That's cool. And here's some cars here along the wall. Again, I'm just going to kind of pass over these. You guys want to pause the video, you can pause it to look at them. Very cool. 1935 it says. Look at the gigantic drum brakes on these things. There's a early scooter. That's cool. This is a little newer 50s model sprint car. And it's actually got disc brakes on it. And this is a 68. Well, I guess, hold on, let me back up here so you guys can read this if you want to read it. All right, there you go. And the rope's in the way. I can't really show it very well. There we go. You guys can see that. He burned a piston. Got it knocked out of the race. Look at this funky looking thing, man. Check it out. Huh. Wow. Look at that giant turbo off the side of this thing. Dang. That's pretty cool. And we got some just memorabilia here, old gas pumps and stuff like that. Here's another funky, the Judd V8. I've never even heard of some of these motors, man. 1988. Huh. Bobby Rahal, I've heard of him. 1988 Poneco 500. Check that out. It's got a gearbox on the back that's got direct driven. Doesn't have a drive shaft. That's pretty cool. Here's just some old cars and stuff. Neat. Here's some more engines. Plymouth Westlake, 1968 or 69. Very cool. Fuel injected Plymouth engine. This is what was in that Indy car I just showed you guys not too long ago. And here's probably a little newer one, 1974. Wow. Huh. So this actually is a Chevrolet V8 engine with these heads on it. Man, can you imagine what those are worth today? Very cool. Here's looks like a 302 50 Ford engine. Yep, 302. And Westlake developed a set of heads for that as well. Wow, that is amazing. Here's a Toyota. You guys can read that. Cosworth, there we go. Got a couple more up here. There's a Mercedes engine. V8. And a Brayton. Never heard of that before. 1994. It's like a hemispherical head on it. Unusual looking engine there. V8. Oberdorfer. Wow, look at the belt drive system on this thing. Holy smokes. 1978 it says. Originally intended as a high-performance version of the Chevy Vega 4-cylinder passenger car. Wow. Man, can you imagine if you put this thing in a Vega? Put that thing in a Vega? Wouldn't that be cool? Whew. Cosworth. It's too bad they didn't put this engine in the Cosworth Vega like I had. Imagine that would have been screaming. That's cool. Fueling Oldsmobile. There's an Oldsmobile engine, 1980s. I've never seen one of those before either. Oh wow, look at the exhaust pipes on this thing. A little tiny, it's like 8 exhaust pipes. Must be like a 16 valve engine. Wow, very cool. Chevy twin turbo. Huh, look at this. Smokey Unique built this engine. Wow, 207 cubic inches, 1973. They must have been limited by cubic inches. Huh. Wow. Never seen one of those either. I've seen a lot of small block Chevy stuff, but never seen anything like that. There's another one next to it. I'm assuming it's the same thing. Old Joe. Yep, Smokey Unique built this. Wow. Built out of the backyard kind of stuff. A couple small block Chevys there with turbos on them. That's cool. Volker V12. 1937. Another oldie. 12-cylinder dual overhead cam engine. Studebaker Special. Studebaker did some stuff too, I didn't realize. Dual overhead V8 engine. Fuel injected. Very cool. Very cool. All right, we got to keep going here, guys. There's so much stuff in here. Good grief, I'm trying to move as fast as I can, and it's just almost impossible. There's a Drake V8. Dual overhead cam V8 engine. Look at the headers on that thing. That's cool looking. They made the pipes equal length, so they had to put all those curves in them. Oh my God! Look at this. Opposed 8-cylinder. So a flat 8-cylinder. Crower. Wow! Look at that. That's cool. And there's some old racing suits from back in the day. Cool stuff. All right, let's keep going. Good night. I mean, there's just so much stuff here. I'm just going to go through and look at these Indy cars. There's another Moser engine there. I showed you one of those already. A bunch of sprint car stuff. Here's a Indy 73 Parnelli Jones, driven by Al Unser. And he won the Indy 500 in 73 in this car. Very cool. Oh, he took it. Okay. Oh, Texas World Speedway, he won. He didn't win the Indy 500, he won the Texas World Speedway. Okay, sorry. Viceroy, that's cigarettes. Oh my God, this just goes on and on and on. Here's a display room here. I sell hot rod parts for food. I'm just gonna go walk through here real quick. You guys wanna pause it and look at something, you can. There's a Ariel motorcycle, never heard of that, but it's absolutely gorgeous. Very nice. Just a collection of memorabilia stuff. I don't know what all this is, but some nice stuff in here. Some big trophies somebody won. All right. Here's Speedway Motors cars, sprint cars. Again, I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. If you want to pause it and read this stuff, you can. There's a big sign back there. I don't know if you guys want to read that or not, but if you can try to, if you can zoom in on it, you can read some of that. Oh my God, this just goes on and on and on. There's another one there I missed. Another one there. Randall Offie. You guys know Offie? You've heard of that? Read that if you want to. Look at the tires, the knobby tires on this thing. They must have been running on dirt or in the rain or something. And here's a few more Speedway vehicles. Said I'm not going to look at every one of these. That's a really cool looking car there. That V8 small block Chevy, and those headers. I love those headers coming off there. That's cool. I mean, this just goes on and on and on. There's another Al Unser car, Pikes Peak car. You can read that if you want to. Red, white, and blue. Livery colors, that's cool. All right, we got to keep going. My gosh, this is insane. There's some more sprint cars over here. Said I'm not going to stop and look at all these because there's just too many of them. Indy cars over here. Bobby Unser. And Bobby Unser drove a lot of cars. Rizlone Racing, that's an older car, probably from the 60s, I assume. Some more sprint cars over here. And this is like a modern day sprint car here. Very cool, very cool. Johnny Lightning Special. Al Unser Sr. Second, he won Indy 500 in 1971. In that car, that's a very cool looking car. Very cool. And this is the one over here, the Rizlone. He won his first Indy 500. Look at how young he is in that picture. So there you go. That's the Rizlone car. Amazing. Another Viceroy Indy car. 72 Viceroy Special. If you can read that, if you want to read it. It's a cool looking car. The Penske Special. Marlboro. Alright. Orange and white. That's a beautiful car. Beautiful. We got some more sprint cars over here. Tons of them. Weld Inc. KC, Missouri right there. Weld Wheels maybe? I don't know. The Coors Light Silver Bullet. 1984 Coors Light Special. Won the first Indy race in '84. Very cool. Very cool car. And here's a couple of Chevy there. And this one here is really old. I don't know what that is, but it's probably from the 30s or 40s. Hasn't been restored, unrestored, just like it was parked probably. John Zink, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Very cool. All right. I guess I'm going to go back. Well, actually, I'll go around this way because we haven't seen these cars. There's another Ford engine. Very rare Galvin dual overhead cam, 1926 to 1930. And there that is. It's got like a little mini turbo off the side there for something. I don't know what that's for, but interesting. And then here's a few more sprint cars. It's another very unusual engine here. Roberts engine, it says. There you go, you can look at that. 1920s. 4-cylinder, single overhead cam, it looks like. Beautiful engine, just beautiful. Speedway Motors Miller Special. Very cool. It's got a little single overhead cam, 4-cylinder in it. All right, we'll continue on down through here. The Plymouth V8 fuel injected engine and car. We already saw one of those. There's a Ford V8 over there. A little all aluminum. Looks like it runs off a lawnmower engine or something. Huh. Alex Foods. Wow, this is so cool. All right, now we're going to go in this other room. There's just so much to see here. I mean, I could come here and spend hours and hours and hours. Oh, this is like a cafe. All right, we got to go look at these cars. Here's some unusual drag race cars right here. Check this out. Al Borgala's More Aggravation, a Michigan Hot Rod First Riddler Show Award winner. See that? Check this car out, man. That is absolutely wild. Can you imagine driving this thing down the quarter-mile strip? That is beautiful. Supercharged Chrysler V8 engine, probably 1,000 horsepower at least. That is just gorgeous. Love those wheels. Those are probably magnesium wheels, not aluminum. These are the kind of cars I love right here. And here's what is this called? I can't remember. Avante, I think. I think this is an Avante. Either that or just a custom. Maybe it's just a custom car. Here's an old T-bucket. Really nice looking Ford V8 in it. It's got Indy tires on it, IndyCar tires on it. 34 Ford, I think. An old Ford pickup. This is insane, man. Here's a beautiful, beautiful Cadillac that belonged to Hedy Lamar. I'll let you read that if you want to stop and read that. Look at that movie camera. Look at that thing. That thing is, I bet that thing probably weighs 500 or 600 pounds, maybe more than that. That thing's huge. And then here's some information about this Cadillac. Wow. Gorgeous car. Look at the fins on that baby. 1958. See, I told you that's when they put the big fins on stuff. The late 50s. That is a beautiful Cadillac. Gorgeous. And here's a really nice looks like this is a Chip Foose car. Gorgeous. Check this thing out. This thing here is like bare metal. Got a fake Halibrands on it. Look at that bare metal car. That is very cool. Wow. Very cool. Street rodder. Look at the engine on that. Arden heads on it. It's got some kind of an Arden engine in it. Wow. Okay, I'll hold this up where you guys can kind of see that. .286 French flathead block, a rare SCOT blower. Huh. Wow, that's amazing. Very cool. 34 Ford Roadster boat tail. Look at that. Wait a minute. It's a 34 Ford, but it's got a Buick nailhead engine in it. Huh. Gorgeous. Look at the paint job on that thing. That is just stunning. Wow.
The elevator's over by the stairs. Okay, right, just to the left of the stairs.
This way.
Well.
Couple of unusual looking cars.
Okay.
Got a modern V8 in that one, looks like. And the upholstery in it is ostrich skin. I recognize that with the big, where their feathers stick out. Aerosports Roadster. You can read about that if you want to. Check that car out. That is just gorgeous. Can't even see the engine in there, but it's in there somewhere. There's a flathead Roadster there that's convertible. '37 Willys. Bought in 1957 for $350. Took 17 years to build. 1,100 horsepower. 1,100 horsepower Donovan blown small block Chevy. Very cool. It's a Detroit Roadster. Linda Vaughn, she was the hearse lady. Got a little small block Chevy in it. Very cool. And here's what they call an altered. It's one of my favorite types of cars is altereds. I think it's gorgeous. El Toro. Beautiful car. All right, we got to keep going. We got a lot to look at. I'm still on the first floor. This is insane. 40 minutes just on, and I still got another room on the first floor to go. It's insane. All right, I got to go all the way across to the other side. There's another room on the other end. I'm trying to go as fast as I can, guys. I'm trying to make this video as short as I can, but there's just so much stuff. I mean, I could come here and spend hours in here. They're actually having a tour starting at around 1 o'clock, which is probably about now, but it's a 2.5 hour long tour, and I don't want to go on a 2.5 hour long tour. So I'm just walking through here as quick as I can.
At 2 different times, they had what we call the writing mechanic or the mechanician.
There's some cool stuff in here. Belly tanker. These cars were popular for a while. Wow, it doesn't even have a transmission in it. It's just got a clutch with a driveline connected straight to the differential. Huh. Very cool. These tanks are old gas tanks, fuel tanks they used on bombers in the war, and people took them and converted them into cars. Here's a salt flat cars, several of them. More 400-mile-an-hour passes than cars, any other cars. Wow. 439 miles an hour. There's a video of him driving it. Wow, that's insane. 439 miles an hour. Can you imagine that? I can't even imagine going that fast on land. You can hear the whistle. That tire there didn't make it. Not in very good shape. I imagine you got to have some really special tires to be able to go 400 miles an hour. Wow, that is so cool. Check this thing out, man. Look at how small that is. You have to lay down inside that car. Oh my God. Oh, that's the body. This is the chassis. Look at the tires. Look at the front tires on this thing. Just check this car out. So you're actually laying down inside the car. It's got a freaking small block Chevy power. Wow, that's amazing. That is amazing. $1989 block 302. Had a top speed of 323 miles an hour. Small block Chevy went 323 miles an hour. Huh, how do you like that? Very cool. Amazing. Huh. Here's a 56 or 57 T-Bird. 57 T-Bird, yep. This one here was actually driven on the salt flats. $112 miles an hour. 12-second quarter mile. They put a 427 Mercury Super Marauder engine. $178 miles an hour. Then they did 189 and 200.34, 200.48 miles an hour. T-Bird went 200 miles an hour. 57 T-Bird. How do you like that? I'll be another salt flat car. Very cool. Here's a motorcycle that was driven on salt flats, I'm sure. And some more. We'll come back around and look at those. These are all like salt flat on this end, anyhow. Birkeland. It says Mopar, so I'm assuming it's got a Mopar engine. Home-built streamliner. 400 mile an hour record back to America, it says. 440 supercharged Hemi Donovan Chrysler engines running on alcohol. 417 miles an hour. Wow. That's amazing. Very cool. 1927 Cosworth Vega Streamliner. This thing had a 122 cubic inch Vega Cosworth Vega engine. Look at that. I'll be dang. Same engine that was in my Cosworth, but it went a little faster. There's a little, what the heck? That's a funky looking engine there. I don't know what it is, but it looks like a 4-cylinder dual over. Oh, that might be a Cosworth engine as well. It's got 4 plug heads, or 2 plug heads. Sorry, two spark plugs per cylinder. Huh. no signage on it, but it looks like it was driven in the salt flats as well. Interesting. We got this lead wedge. That's interesting looking. 68. 138 miles an hour, 20 Autolite batteries. So this was an electric car that went 138 miles an hour. See the batteries in there? Wow. That's interesting. It's got a big capacitor back there that got cooling fins on it to keep things cool. And then we got another streamliner. It's missing the front nose piece. It's got a 4-cylinder engine in it. I don't know what it is, but world's fastest Model A, 240 miles an hour, it says. Wow. And then here's a few more. Gosh, this just goes on and on and on. Lakester. Body paint job designed by Chip Foos, 565 cubic inch. $323 miles an hour. Wow. Beautiful car. Then this thing here, we gotta look at this, because this is powered by an F-104 Starfighter jet engine. Holy smokes. 3-time land speed record holder, 434, 576 miles an hour on the land. Look at this thing. Holy crap. I cannot imagine being in this car going 500 miles an hour. That would scare me to death. You lose control and you're done. Wow. But here, look at this. It says right there, 650 miles an hour on 1978. 650 miles an hour in a jet-powered car. That's insane. There's like a rail, like a funny car, or top fuel rail car. It may be jet-powered too, it looks like. And this thing here is like really weird looking. Oh, look, this bike actually had a passenger compartment. This thing here went 221 miles an hour. Wow, okay, let's go check out what else we got, because we got a whole room full of stuff here. There's an Anglia, probably a 48, 49 Anglia. That's a beautiful car right there. I used to love the Anglias. They were really fast. They're small cars, really fast. 428 Cobra Jet, drag car, gorgeous. Dick Wood. Wow, that's beautiful. Probably 68 to 71 or 72 Mustang. Very nice. I love that Cobra Jet. That is just cool. Torino, I believe. Beautiful. Here's a Maverick, probably 72, 73 Maverick. Again, I'm just going to go through here quick, guys. There's so many cars here. Herzog. They're railroad people. They got a top fuel funny car there. All right, we might as well look at this stuff here so I don't have to come. Well, yeah, I'll look at the stuff on this side. Here's like a Baja off-road racing, probably 73, 74 Ford four-wheel drive truck with the step sides on it. Probably racing the Baja 500, I assume. I don't know. Check this out. This is funky looking. I don't even know what that is. It doesn't say. It says GM. I guess it must be a Blazer that they modified. Huh. Wow. Here's a more modern off-road truck. There's an old rail, sand rail. Very cool, dune buggy. It's a little, probably a Triumph. Road racing car. Another Indy car, it looks like. Oh no, this is SCCA, sorry. Yep, SCCA, smaller stuff. And here's some foreign cars over here. That's a Honda. Probably a BMW, I guess, I don't know. This is Shelby. Wow, beautiful. Here's like a 70s style Indy car. Very cool looking. Here's a Porsche, probably from the 50s, I think. Look how tiny this car is. It's like a James Bond car. Very cool. It's a BMW. Got the tailpipes coming out the back. Here's a SCCA Trans Am car that was using SCCA racing. 70 Trans Am. Very nice looking car. There's a funky looking thing over there. Sits low to the ground. SCCA though, it says. Another SCCA little car there. Here's a 64, 60, probably 64, 66. This is a Hearst car. Okay, you guys have heard of 350 GT350H Hearst car rental. Bought these cars and they were renting them out. And as rental cars, you could rent a GT350, but the problem was people would rent one, they'd take it to their house, they'd pull the engine out and put their stock 302 back in it and take this engine and steal it and put it in their car. And so Hearst had to quit doing it because they kept losing engines out of their cars. There you go. Very cool. Here's a 56 Pontiac. NASCAR race car. Here, I'll just show you guys this real quick. You can look at it. Stock car. There you go. He hadn't been making the payments on the car, and it was getting repossessed. They agreed to let him race it, and then he wrecked it. There's your new car, boys, laying on its roof over there. It's a very cool looking engine there. Neat. Wow. 56 Pontiac, that's cool. There's a engine out of one, 57. David Parsons, Wood Brothers Mercury. Mercury Cougar. All right, what's this? Smokies, 366. This is a 366 block that he made into, it's a 396 three-stroke 366. 12-to-1 compression. Experimental factory intake. Looks like we recognize that intake, don't we? There's the number off of it. 366 aluminum heads. Probably 800 horsepower, who knows? Toyota Racing Development engine there. You can read that if you want. NASCAR racing engine. Roush Ford. That's cool. There's that one. You guys want to read that? Very cool. And here's some NASCAR stuff. There's a Pontiac NASCAR engine. You can read about that. 700 horsepower. NASCAR cars. You guys have seen those before. I've shown you those at the Mecum auctions. Here's a Boss 429 engine. You guys can read about that. Boss 429, that was a really powerful engine. Here's a 358. 1996 358 Ford engine. He finished 7th and still won $1.6 million. Wow. That's pretty cool. 358. Stroke 351 probably. Or stroke 302 maybe. There's another engine back there. Can't forget the Chevrolet guys, I guess. There we go. 700, 800 horsepower at 9,000 RPMs. Wow. All right. Big block Chevy. Got a belt drive system on the front. Very cool. All right, let's go. Unser Jr. Ugly pink car. There's another V8 engine. I'm not sure what it is. Dodge. Okay, this is a Dodge NASCAR engine. 2003 to 2012. Penske was the only NASCAR team using Dodge engines. Wow. Look at those rocker arms. Those are funky. You Dodge guys probably never seen anything like that before, have you? Very cool. All right, here's a 53 Oreo cookie. Check that out. I'll let you look at that real quick. 53 Buick Oreo cookie convertible. Funky. And this is a weird purplish thingy. I don't even know what it's called. You know, that looks like the rear window out of a Barracuda that they put backwards in there. Check that out. I'll bet that's exactly what that is. Like a 67 or 68 Barracuda. And of course, here's some of the famous cars they built back in the day. Vampire. Check that out. That is wild. Imagine driving down the street in that thing. You'd get some looks, wouldn't you? Wow, that is very cool. There's like a Johnny Lightning or whatever. I think it's Johnny Lightning had a car like that. Cool. That's like a Pantera, I think. 70s Pantera. It looks like it's been modified. Very cool. Sweet Dreams 34 Ford Roadster. Beautiful, beautiful burgundy paint job on that thing. That is gorgeous. Or is it just a bucket car? T-bucket. It's got a... I don't know what that engine is. Check that out. You guys tell me, what is that engine? You guys know? What is that engine? I've never seen it before. Here's a street car with a tilt front end and a 557 cubic inch engine in it, whatever that is. 40 Cheapon. There you go. 557 Pontiac race engine. Huh. Wow. These guys got this race stuff and they put it in street cars. Check out the scoop on this thing. They put it all the way to the front of the hood. Cool. This is another salt flat car. He built the car himself in his garage. Amazing. 206 miles an hour. Doesn't say anything about what engine is in it. Judging by the headers, I'm pretty sure it's a small block Chevy, but I don't know for sure. There's another engine back there we can't see very well. There's some more salt flat cars. Supercharged by George, it says. Wow. Cool. There's a couple more engines back there we can't see. Now that one, the one on the left there, looks like it's a 4-cylinder engine with a small block Chevy head on it. I wish we could see it, but we can't. Wheel Streamliner. Huh, that's tiny, man. It's a small car. All right, now we got to go upstairs to the second floor. So this is just the first floor. Took me an hour exactly to do the first floor. Holy smokes! Tell you what, I'm gonna stop this video. This is part one. This is part one. I'll make a part two and a part three. All right. Thanks for watching.